It is Friday. Not only is it Friday, but it is October 25th. I literally was just looking around to try to figure out, is it the 24th? Is it the 25th? It is the end of October. Guess how many pages I have written? Probably 5. So that is my way of saying I have failed at my goal massively. Not without learning plenty of lessons along the way. One of which is that, not that this is a lesson that I didn't know previously, but it's one that is screaming at me these days. Just because you set a goal to do something doesn't mean that that thing is going to happen, because life has plans and they often don't include the ones that you made. And I've also been learning that sometimes the things that we think are the most important, the things that we think should happen first, the things that we intend to prioritize are not necessarily the things that need to be prioritized. Because the needs will show themselves and you will tackle those first, as I did for the last month and a half, 2 months. Although I'm kind of frustrated that I don't have something else to put out in the next week, I'm also realizing that urge to put something out quickly and to make it something that I thought readers would want really comes from a place of ego, a place of not enoughness, a place of realizing that publishing books is a really big challenge, a really big learning curve. Like, I knew all of that going in, but when you're in it and you put something out that you worked so hard on, that you poured your entire heart and soul into, and it just doesn't get the visibility that you were hoping for, I should stop pushing this outward. That's what happened to me. That was my experience putting out the last 2 books that I put out. And when that happens, it feels heavy. It feels disappointing. It made me wonder what else I needed to be doing, what the real issue was. And I think I kind of clung to this idea that the issue is that I just don't have enough works out. I'm not hitting the right stride at the right time. I'm not like riding the wave of what's trending. And so if I can publish something fast enough that hits the right wave, then maybe I can get visibility on something shorter that will send people back to my longer works. Which, I don't know, maybe that's a strategy that works for people. I've heard that it works for people. But I'm helping my dog. Trying to create that way was just really painful. And it doesn't really, honestly, doesn't align with trying to human, because I'm just not a fast writer, and I have a lot of other things going on that I'm trying to manage at the same time. Part of that is gut issues and hormonal stuff and stress from other areas of life, and maintaining relationships with family and thinking about money. And my husband, runs his own business, and so we're both in fields that fluctuate, and we're both in fields that rely very heavily on your own engine, being your own fuel source, riding the waves of sales, and I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot. It has been a very stressful way to make a living, one that we chose through a lot of trial and error for reasons that I will not get into right now, because that would be a really long video. You guys know, if you've watched any of my other videos, I tend to be long-winded. But yeah, there's a lot of moving pieces, and a lot of times, even though I want to be that person who has the morning routine and who gets up at a certain time and checks off all the boxes and is super, super disciplined, time and time again I've realized I can't operate that way. It just doesn't work. And oftentimes when I try to operate that way, it just kind of sends my body into turmoil. It's too much pressure, too much stress, and then my gut gets out of whack, and my periods are horrendous, and I get migraines, and So it's unfortunate. It's frustrating because there's a huge part of me that wants to be that person who's like, I publish like 3, 4, 5 books a year. I, write all the time, and like, I want to be that. And a lot of it is ego, but a lot of it is also just like the pain of failure, the pain of having a certain goal for myself and my career for so long. I mean, I started writing in like 2009. Spent a lot of time studying it. I got 3 degrees in it. I taught it for a long time. And I'm not where I want to be. And I'm learning that that's okay, but it feels painful, and it feels irritating, and it feels stressful, and I feel at least 7 times a day like I have made a mistake, or I chose the wrong way, or I'm just not good enough, or I don't even know what it is. I don't know. My marketing sucks. I don't know how to find the right answers. I don't know how to find the right people. Maybe the right people for what I do don't exist. Like, what can I do? What do I need to improve? Where is the area that I need to focus to make this career, because that's what I want at the end of the day, viable? And then I wonder, is part of my frustration with this just like a sign of the times, right? Like growing up being told you can do anything, and like if you work hard enough it'll happen, and like just the lay of the land kind of shifting from when I was a kid in the 90s to like now, and it's like everything is heavily populated. There's a lot going on. There's so many options to choose from in everything, right? Not just in the book world and the romance book world in particular, right? It's across the board, and it just takes something that I don't understand to be seen, to find your people, to build. And I don't know if it's time in the game. But like that can't be true. It's not. The thing that bothers me the most about all of this, like the conversation that I'm having right now on camera is what goes on in my head all of the time, literally every second of every day. Okay. And maybe if you're also a creative and artist, you understand what I'm saying right now. Drop a heart in the comments for solidarity. If I'm the only one who feels this way. Like, I'll be honest. I know my books are not the best books in the world. Do I have room for improvement as a writer, as a storyteller? Of course. And I'm always going to feel that way. No matter if, like, objectively I get better book by book by book, right? But I also kind of feel like there's enough of a core there that it's interesting and serves some people. And I'm just like, dang, that's not enough. So what else do I do? Like, I'm going to write regardless, because I've learned time and time again that quitting is not the answer. Because I try to quit, I try to stop writing, and it's always a bad idea. I always come back to it. I'm always frustrated with myself for giving up. I got story ideas showing up out of the blue. I watch something and I get inspired. I watch something and I'm like, ooh, what if I could do that, but this way? It's just not going to stop. And I also think I have a stubborn, streak in me that says, like, if this is challenging, I want to do it. And all of that combined, plus the time and energy that I put in for the last 15-ish years, whatever it's been, to try to make this work, all of that combined is like, get back in there. Keep going. Try something else. You might make it. You might survive. But the struggle of it all is like, it's really tiring. It's really wearing. And I try to change my perspective on that and be like, I get to do this. I get to try again. I get to have the resources to put out work and see what happens, and I get to have some readers, and that's amazing, and that's really, really cool, and I'm like so appreciative for anyone who's read any of the books, and for anyone who has like left me a kind comment or reached out and said they enjoyed it or left a review. Like, it's really amazing. And at the same time, there's a part of me that's just like, okay, if it can happen at that level, can it happen bigger? Can it happen more? Can it happen enough so that like I can make some money off of it? Can it happen so that it's my career? Can it happen so that like I feel like I can claim this title, author, writer, artist? Can I really do this like with my life? Because that's what I want. And is it okay to say that that's what I want? Does that sound assholey? Does that sound entitled? Does that sound like, it's such a struggle? I want it. I want this. I feel like it's for me. I feel like I have the ability. And yet, the results say that I don't. And so, long story long, I think that's where my goal of like, I want to put out a novella this month came from. It really came from me feeling like I've got to go harder. I've got to do more. I've got to write more. I've got to hit timing. I've got to like produce to see if I can make this work. And that was a failure again. So failure with book 1, failure with book 2, failure with attempt to write novella, first novella, book 3. What have I learned from failures? Because that's what people say, is that failures teach you things. I don't know. I've learned that I'm tired. Is that a lesson? I learned that I'm kind of angry with myself. I don't really know where I'm going to go from here. Like, I'm not going to stop. I don't know what takes me from this level to like actual person doing this for a career. And that is why I'm making these videos, because I feel like we always see the highlight reel. We always see the people who've made it after they've made it, and we don't ever hear them doing this, telling you like, I'm 2 seconds away from giving up. We don't hear that. We hear like, I'm glad I didn't give up. Like, what if you quit and then the next second is your big moment? We hear that. And we don't hear them when they're like, yo, this is hard and my stomach hurts and I'm frustrated. I don't know what to do next, and everything I've tried has not worked. Interestingly enough, if you look back on my channel, I have a video about like how much I have earned. I put that out probably in August, a couple months ago, whatever. So granted, it's not much more than that now, so it's still pretty accurate of a video. But back then I was saying my hypothesis is that my posting on social was a direct correlation to how much money I was making, and that I have learned is not true. There's a lesson that I probably wouldn't have learned if I would have like gone hard at like writing and finishing a book this month. Is that I was like really consistent with posting, pretty much every day, at least on TikTok, and I was not consistent at all last month posting on TikTok, and I made like $30 something last month from sales and KU reads, and this month I've made $16, and my posts have been like boom, boom, boom. Not that they've gotten very many views, but like over, collectively, the views, I don't know. All I've learned is that posting consistently is not the answer, and I do not have a backlist enough or enough of a grasp on like understanding how to position my books in the market to funnel money that I don't have into ads, so that's off the table. And I'm like, yeah, okay, write more books, cool, but like I'm slow. This is me in the thick of it. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying. I don't know what I'm doing. The upside is I have 2 ideas, 2.5 ideas that I really like that will be written at some point. And hopefully one day I'll be able to like make a cute little edit of me being a mump in this video, and then me with like a bestseller tag. Saying if only I could talk to me back then and tell her everything's gonna be fine. Oh, that makes me cry. What does it make me cry? Yeah, if only I could talk to me back then and say, look, just keep going. Just keep going, keep showing up, keep doing the work. Because, like, you know, this is your path, so don't quit. Don't quit, you're good enough. The people who like your shit will find you at some point. You're not an idiot for trying. You're not an idiot for putting time into this. Like, if you feel something is for you, it's because it's for you. So push through the moments when it seems like it's not working. And live in the possibility. Live in the reality that you want. Live in it now, like it already exists. And the failures are giving me an opportunity to do that, right? If I had success out the gate, then I would believe that the success was attributed to my output. I believe that the success was like manufactured and that I could like replicate it, and that there was like no magic and no energy and no like any of that behind it. So this is forcing me to step out on faith, to trust in the universe, to trust in something bigger than myself, and to surrender. Say like, when it's my time, it's my time. And time isn't really real anyway, so it's all happening now. And if it's all happening now, then I'm already there. And the message that I channeled for my future self is really me to me right now. So it's already done. It's already done. And even though a lot of times it doesn't feel like it, and even though I do not have, a third physical book to publish right now, it's okay because it already exists. So I'm gonna work on, believing that today and like feeling it out and like just trusting that I'm in the right zone. And I'll take it from there. Book pending. If you are creating something and you feel similarly, I guess let's be stubborn together. Because if we stop, who else is gonna do this crazy stuff? Nobody, I tell you that, because this is, it's gonna test you. So let's pass the test together. High five. Bye.